Popoff here from the Contrarians, back again with another episode of Reliving Old Reviews as a Useless Tool of Confusion. This is another one of our part two ones, because logically speaking, as we look at these old reviews of these classic albums, more than one person reviews these albums. So we're going to look at other reviews and see if these next ones kind of get the story better or right or worse kind of thing. And I want to thank Chris Jackson again, because Chris Jackson has done this 3 times now, has found an old review of an album that we did an episode on and posted it to my History in 5 Songs audio podcast page. Check out my audio podcast. We're up to 275 episodes as I'm doing this right now. It's a straight audio podcast, half an hour every time. Just Google me. It's over in 40 plus places. And we have 30-second song clips and songs or examples of what goes on in it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I have a Facebook page for that. And he helpfully posted this. So we are looking at Machine Head for the second time. Okay. So let's read this review. Who wrote this? It just says CW. I recognize that header. I believe this is from Melody Maker. So it is a review that gets a heading, Purple Find Their Direction. It gets a picture of Roger Glover looking really hairy and like a hippie. They even call him the hippie in the band even now, 60 years later, 50 years later. And it says Deep Purple's Roger Glover, their best yet. So that gives you away what they're going to think of this album. And let's see what it says here. Deep Purple Machine Head. On first hearing, it might seem that Purple are indeed a machine-like band who play rather obvious riffs without much soul. But probe a little deeper, the band actually play a lot looser and with more feel than many similar heavy metal outfits. So I find a few things out to lunch here. This is remarkable new kind of music. It's a modern new kind of thing called heavy metal. It's getting called heavy metal around this time, I think, for the first time. That's a whole nother story. But saying it's obvious riffs without soul, there's nothing obvious about what Ritchie Blackmore is doing in 1972. It's new. I like this. The band plays a lot looser and with more feel. They play with a lot of feel, but it's definitely not loose. Hard rock before this has been way more loose. Cream, Jimi Hendrix, Blue Cheer, the Stooges. It was much looser before Deep Purple came around. For example, Lazy, which is far from idle, swings and allows both Ritchie Blackmore guitar and John Lord organ to improvise at length, while Ian Pace's drums push them along with tasteful and mature shading and fills. Recently, John told me he was happiest with this album as it represented what the band now does on stage. They recorded it in a hotel in Montreux after the casino burnt down. With the aid of the Rolling Stones mobile unit, the quality is good, but needs to be played at high volume to gain full effect. After a while, riffs like Smoke on the Water, Space Truckin', and Highway Star begin to nag at the subconscious, and it is likely that they will prove Purple's most successful and enjoyable album. He was right about that. This is their most successful and enjoyable album. And, saying those riffs are going to nag is a little bit weird. The only way they nag is because they've been played thousands and thousands and thousands of times, but they are absolutely superlative, great, top quality riffs. He shouldn't be saying anything like that. You want to hear a riff that nags, go listen to Tales of Brave Ulysses or Sunshine of My Love, right? Let's see what else. Tasteful playing gets all that kind of right. It's definitely very remarkable, tasteful playing. Let's see. I'm still not too sure about Ian Gillan's shrieking, but it certainly has a pitch of excitement, and he can rock with the best on Space Truckin'. The group are at their best, settling into a shuffling beat groove, playing long flowing unison lines and phrasing together. Extremely proficient musicians. The Men of Purple have found the direction they long sought, and if they keep up the pressure, they could find themselves making more natural and important musical statements than in the past, while consolidating their position as one of the most popular modern rock bands. Wow. So yeah, he's obviously noticing this is a great band. It's a band on the rise, which is kind of cool, and he's getting that right. Extremely proficient musicians. This is a band that pride themselves on musicianship, probably even more so than the people in Uriah Heep or in Black Sabbath for that matter. And obviously Led Zeppelin pride themselves on musicianship as well. But I think Deep Purple's the better band all around than even Led Zeppelin in all departments. Even I'll even say Ian Pace over John Bonham. What the heck, right? Yeah, pretty cool review. So there you go. Let us know on our Contrarians Facebook page or the comments below, or on my History in 5 Songs page for that matter. If this reviewer CW more or less got this right. This has been another edition of Reliving Old Reviews is a Useless Tool of Confusion, a Part 2 episode.